I was challenged by my friend Tim Barnett from the YouTube channel Red Pin Logic to answer in 3 minutes or less 10 atheist objections to belief in God. In fact, this comes from a YouTube comment from an atheist named Brian Doyle, who says that this is 10 ways to prove that a God does not exist. You know it's an atheist because he puts God in lowercase g unnecessarily, just to get you. So I accepted Tim's challenge to try to, in 3 minutes or less, do this. He's going to do it on his channel as well. Here's my attempt to diffuse the atheist bomb in 3 minutes. 10 reasons that you would stop being a believer in God. Let's see if I can do this and keep us all from becoming atheists in the next 3 minutes. Because I'm pretty sure if I can't answer these things in 3 minutes or less, the atheist bomb will blow up and we will all become atheists. And to read the objections, allow me to introduce my improvisational atheist friend, Mick. 10 ways to prove that a God does not exist. Let's get started. Number 1. The fact that a human being has to tell you about the existence of your God proves there is no God. We would be born with knowledge of its existence. Babies aren't born knowing anything at all. How strange to suppose they will be born knowing about God. But research has shown that humans are predisposed to believe in supernatural agency behind the world. God belief will crop up in humans unless indoctrination pushes it out. So by your own standard, Brian, this is actually evidence for God. Number 2, a God belief is simply geography. Being raised in a religious home decides which God you believe in. What surprises me with this one is that it's based on an official logical fallacy called the genetic fallacy. Basically, you can't prove a belief wrong by criticizing where it came from, Richard Dawkins. What's equally embarrassing for those who hold to number 2 is that by their own standard, their atheism is just a result of where they were born, and therefore they can't be trusted about atheism. So it's fallacious and self-refuting. Number 3. There was no time before the Big Bang, so that means that there was no time for a God to exist or create things in. Now, this objection actually touches on a powerful reason to believe in God. Since the universe is space, time, matter, and energy, then the thing that made the universe needs to be spaceless, timeless, immaterial, and incredibly powerful. The timeless nature of the origin of all things is another piece of evidence for God. Number 4, the Abrahamic God cannot exist because it wasn't the first God to be created. There are other gods that have been proclaimed to exist before this God. They can't all be true, so if we can deny the existence of one of these gods, we can use the same method to deny them all. This one is seriously confused. It assumes that God was created when Abraham existed, but that assumes atheism to prove atheism. Then it says that if all gods aren't real, then no God is real. That's like saying fake Van Goghs prove there are no real Van Goghs. Number 5, God either allows the devil to exist and is an accomplice, or it isn't an all-powerful God. An all-powerful and loving God wouldn't allow the devil to exist. Isaiah 45 verse 7, King James Version. Many reasonable explanations have been offered as to why God allows evil, and if they are even possibly true, then this objection fails, and that's why no scholars today promote this objection. On Isaiah 45:7, where it says God created evil, I have a whole video on that linked in the description below. Number 6, the God of the Bible is jealous of other gods. This proves that this God is not the only one. With multiple choices only shows that there is no reason to choose just one. If a God were true, there would be no other options. I don't even know where to begin with this one. First, if you're taking the Bible as true, which this objection depends on, then you realize that these other gods are at worst fake or at best demons and lesser spiritual beings, ontologically nothing like God Almighty. And number 2, on God's jealousy, since the worship of false gods requires people to treat those gods as if they're real by sacrificing to false gods, going to temples, doing sexual rituals, God can be jealous for those people with or without those gods being real. Number 3, you're literally taking a warning passage about worshiping false gods and using it as an excuse to reject the true God. Number 7, there is no evidence that spirit energy exists. So we can conclude that psychics, ghosts, and gods are non-existent. Otherwise, God has nothing to be made of. Christianity does not depend on the existence of spiritual energy any more than it depends on the existence of Santa's flying sleigh. God isn't made of something that is part of creation. If he was, it would actually be a good reason to reject belief in God in the Christian sense. Number 8, there is no such thing as nothing. For nothing to exist would cause it to be something. Creationists believe that God created the universe out of literally nothing. Oh my, the only people I've actually heard say that nothing is something are atheists. Like, look at physicist Lawrence Krauss, who likes to promote that view.
But they refuse to accept the idea that nothing might be a physical quantity.
But since we agree that nothing's really nothing, the universe appearing from nothing is powerful evidence for a transcendent creator God. Number 9. This is not a finely tuned world created with us in mind. The sun gives you cancer, most of the water's undrinkable, and diseases run rampant. If there was an intelligent designer, there wouldn't be any mistakes. That's like saying that cars aren't fine-tuned driving machines because they can cause car accidents. Fine-tuning is present in the universe because the odds are astronomical that any intelligent life could exist without it being just the way it is. But fine-tuning doesn't mean perfectly safe and without dangers. Number 10. Evolution is obviously true. This means that we weren't created by magic and are somehow superior to the animal kingdom. No creator, no God. Evolution, if you do accept it, is just another reason to believe in God. If an explosion can make all this through natural processes, then it was an explosion that was very highly specialized and engineered by an intelligence that wanted this to happen. So that's how I did. Hopefully I defused those 10 issues, 10 proofs before the bomb blew up. I don't know. Maybe we're all atheists now. Now I'm passing this challenge on to Tim Barnett to do the same 3-minute atheist challenge. And we're uploading our videos on the same day at the same time, which means there's a link right now that you can actually click on and you can check out Tim's response to these same questions just for fun. Merry Christmas.